Hello, this should be a relatively short video on some of the resources available to you in my lab in mastering. I'm specifically going to show you some of the stuff that's in the study area if you didn't use that at all in AP1. So to access that, you're going to click on my lab in mastering. This is the home page. Then you're going to open my lab in mastering, so it'll have its own tab up here. Then what you are going to want to click on is right there, the study area. And this is a completely different website environment, so you have to launch the study area in its own tab. Then the study area looks like this. There are all kinds of things like practice quizzes, animations, videos. A lot of these you can access just by clicking on the resource that you want here, or you can do study by chapter. So let's say you just want to see what's going on with the respiratory system. The practice test will be there. The chapter quiz will be there. I don't know if you get all of these e-text things. I don't think that comes with our subscription anymore. But you'll notice interactive physiology shows up. That's a thing that I'm going to tell you about later. MP3 tutoring sessions, Physio EX, interactive physiology, flashcards, glossary. All of these are things that you can find in the list of resources. So if you go back to home, right, any clinical case studies show up by chapter, the flashcards, the glossary, the tutoring sessions, those all showed up for that chapter when we did study by chapter. So you can hunt around individual resources or you can do study by chapter. You might want to spend a little bit of time playing around with the animations and videos. I won't here because it just wastes time. But see if there's anything from this semester or last semester that you want to catch up on. There are two things I wanted to introduce you to primarily for this video. The first is interactive physiology. So we're going to click on that. Then it shows up. And as you can see, there is a lot of content here for interactive physiology. One of the earliest topics we're going to do is the cardiovascular system. I don't know if they have one for endocrine. Oh, they do for endocrine. But I don't know what any of these look like, so let's not do those. So real quick, lots of stuff for the cardiovascular system. If you click on, I just did electrical activity of the heart. This should be, oh, there should be an arrow. Maybe you just need to click on these things. They update how these things work every once in a while. So if I don't log in every semester, I forget how things work. But like this is just a presentation that you work your way through. Then at some point there will be videos embedded. So it's a series of videos. Sometimes it is interactive where there are things you can click on. Like here, there's an activity where I think you're supposed to be cutting parts of the cell out. And what are you supposed to do? Cut and then put it there. And contractile cells cut, put them there. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Maybe it's, where do we get that? Oh, I see it here. So that's the interactive part. I won't go through the whole thing, but it's worth spending a little bit of time just looking at this. If it says animation, that's just a video. But if it says IP2 here, those are the ones where there'll be some activity where you click and manipulate what's on the screen. But animations are just animations. So be aware that that's there. I'll try and remember to incorporate some of this into the classroom. Some of these things I feel like translate well to a lecture setting, some of them not so much. But I'll try and remember that they're there, and I will use them, and certainly I'll remember to tell you that they're there. So close that out. Back to, whoops, I closed too many windows. Open the study area again. The other thing is Practice Anatomy Lab. So if you click on that you have to launch in a different tab. And the way it's organized is you've got different, what's the word I'm looking for, resources. So the cadaver, models, histology, cat. Below this is the pig, but I didn't do full screen. So let's say you want to use it for histology because we do a lot of histology. Click on histology first, then say, okay, it's the histology of special senses because this is one of the first labs we're doing. And can I make that smaller? I cannot. It's not going to be any better. So the histology figures come up like this. Whoops, sorry. I was trying to get rid of that blue, but you can't. Oh, there, that you did it. You can turn the labels on. You can turn the labels off, and then if you mouse over something, it will tell you what it is. So you can work your way through. Here there are 12 slides for the special senses. This is all retina, then that's still retina. There we are, cochlea. So we're going to be doing the cochlea, we're not doing the retina. If you click on gallery, then you can scroll through all the different slides they have and look at them. You can take a short quiz or a longer practical if you want to use this to quiz yourself. So there's a lot of histology there. Yes, we want to exit. And then there's a lot of models. So let's say we'll just stick with, I forgot, I have to open nervous system and then say special senses. And there's an eye model. And let me do the gallery and see. So this eye model right here is pretty much exactly the same eye model you're going to have in lab. So this is a great way to review the models. And again, you can do labels, you can do not labels. If you mouse over something, it'll identify it for you. You can have a quiz, you can have a practical. So all that's available in Practice Anatomy Lab. So they have a lot of models that are the same or very similar to our models, and they have a lot of histology. There are tons of resources out there on the web for histology, but this is an easy to use, fairly robust, like they have a lot of histology in there, relatively complete resource. So be aware of that. And then the last thing I want to point out, if I can find my way back to it, I have to go back to here. No, there, here, and then go back to home. It can be a little bit difficult to navigate. If you want to make flashcards for anatomy, that is a separate item, and you would click on that. And again, let's say we're going to do model flashcards, submit. We want to learn, what do we want? They don't have the heart. Where's the heart? Cardiovascular system heart. There it is. It's alphabetical. I've selected my, oh, you know what? It's not giving me, you can't see. I have to lower this. There, submit. Hit the submit button. And then it should give you a big long list of all of these heart parts. But you just click the parts of the heart that are on your lab guide that you need to know. And then you hit review or quiz. Let's just hit review. And it makes the flashcards for us. I think we picked 3 things, but it's giving us 6 flashcards. Because it'll give you multiple views of the same thing. So this is the apex. You flip it over. Hey, you're right. I'm right. It's the apex. That looks like the aortic valve. Hey, I'm right. It's the aortic valve. So you just click your way through. There's the apex again and again, the apex. And you can practice your practice anatomy lab. So that is pretty much everything I wanted you to be able to see in the study area. Play around with it. Some of it is really good, some of it not so much. You paid for it. Take a few minutes just to see what it is that you paid for. That is it. Thanks for watching.